So I got here right as it was dark enough. I was going to have to get my headlamp out, and it seemed pretty much ideal with the ground. Problem is, some of these trees, like that one, has no leaves on it anymore, and if you look closer, it's actually cracked down the center. So at some point, that's going to give way. And obviously, that has happened a fair amount here. The trees leaning over that have already died were creaking for pretty much the entire night. So today seems like it's pretty much get up on the Mesa, get back to the 11,000 foot level again. Rumor has it that there may be some weather today. We'll see, because all I can see in every direction is blue sky. I am 30 some miles from the lodge, so I should get there tomorrow. I'm not quite sure what that stop's gonna look like. At the very least, I need to get another 2 days of food. I could use more power, as always. Per the guide, they have cabins, so I could always just line it up so I overnight there, and I should be charged to get a good way to the Utah border, or at the very least into Grand Junction. My one hope for today is that I can find somebody to spare me like a bag of snap chips or something that I can use to season the most god-awful mashed potatoes I have ever had, which is dinner tonight. I had the second thing of ramen last night, and that wasn't very good. It just needed a lot more salt and seasoning or something. And the potatoes were way worse than that. I have been spoiled this trip, in addition to the cell phone access, since I was in a groove where I was getting new shoes every 2 weeks. I was always having my parents send, 5 little baggies of beans and rice. So I have had my preferred yummy dinner for a good chunk of this trip. Last year I was kind of hopeful the trend was towards those bean flakes being available in more places, but sadly, if anything, the opposite seems true. The Mexicali Rose brand that Walmart carries, I have not had very much luck finding at all. And their online ordering for stuff like that is pretty awful. It'll often let you order things only to then email you and say, oh, we don't have this, but we can substitute this, and it's something, completely different. The Santa Fe beans were my go-to for a long time. You were seeing them all over like the PCTAT, to the point where people were using the foil packages they come in to make spigots, to make water easier to collect for the non-CNOC people. And then COVID supply chain stuff, they shut down for a while. They're back now, but stock's kind of all over the place. I did find, I forget what the brand name is, but they basically sell the pinto bean flakes and the black bean flakes by the pound, which makes a little more sense rather than opening multiple packages. So that's what I've started ordering to my parents, but of course, nobody out here has them. Every store or Walmart I've been in, I've been checking for them, even if I haven't needed them right then, and no dice. I have found some of the wet beans, they have the packages, kind of like those Indian dinners I do. But those are just too heavy to carry. They're fine for car camping. I only had one hunter come by this morning. I was kind of surprised, but I guess I am on a more remote stretch. In more horrific news, I am starting to vaguely freak out about my coffee supply. I have about a week or so left. I have been carrying a ridiculous amount of overage when it comes to coffee and drink packets, and I'm finally letting them run down. Drink packet wise, I'm going to be close to out by the time I get to the lodge up here. As I mentioned before, I don't really find that I need any sort of the electrolyte mixes. I'll use liquid IV sometimes, though they're more expensive. I just use Crystal Light lemonade and fruit punch because it helps me get more water down quickly, and that's the bigger thing. The snacks and food I'm eating generally has plenty of salt and such, where I'm not going to be starved for electrolytes. I was responding to a question on Facebook about that, and I had somebody trying to lecture me and tell me I didn't know what I was saying, and that you had to have a bunch of electrolytes whenever you were hiking. Otherwise, we're just going to like seize up and die. So there you have it. I'm only an okayish hiker. Mr. Day Hiker knows. I guess in Mr. Day Hiker's defense, though, the marketing for electrolytes would basically make you think you have to pound that stuff, morning, noon, and night if you're going to be doing the slightest bit of exercise. I've been sitting here snacking and doing my sunscreen, hoping I might see some sort of critter, but no luck today. Yeah. Huh. What do you know? There might be some weather today. I stopped a minute to check messages. The satellite feature is becoming increasingly useful, and did some back and forth with Jen, and now I'm just trying to hurry to a lower section, since I don't know if this is just going to be wet or thunder or what. Dirt bikers are actually the first for a while. Yet again, huge difference in just a couple hours. So it has been really, really quiet since yesterday evening, despite the fact I think it's Saturday. I think that is mostly because that section, I believe it is called the High Trail, only allows vehicles of a certain width. There was also the Monument Trail and a few others that go around, so I'm expecting to start seeing more people again. And then as I get closer to Grand Mesa Lodge, that looks like more developed. It's got lakes and things like that. .120, and I have thunder coming off from my right, which just so happens to be where I'm headed. Those folks stopped, and one of them was a backpacker from a lot of different places, and so they gave me some Pringles, a Snickers, some cheese, and some elk sausage, and I don't think I've ever had elk sausage. Thunder off and on, lightning off and on. Hasn't rained on me in about 30 minutes. And here we go yet again. Just me and the cows. It is rather nasty out here. And here I thought I was going to see more people around the lakes. There was kind of a convoy of people taking off when I got down to the road. I don't know how many are sticking it out or how long this is supposed to last. The people that talked to me said all day. Okay. I'd actually rather have hail than rain given the choice. It's only barely cold enough though. It actually got nasty enough. I dove for the trees and fully layered up. We'll see how long this lasts. Okay, the mud is getting kind of problematic. I'm sliding all around on the roads. No idea what this is about. This is kind of sucking. If it doesn't start looking like it's going to pass, I think I might just set up for the night. I'm going at a crawl because I keep sliding all around the road. Okay, first usable campsite, I think I'm going to call it here. This is the second one of these reservoirs that seems mostly drained. Crazy thing is I can't seem to find a damn campsite. I have been looking. Well, one that's above water. Okay, this is not ideal and more visible from the trail than I would like, but beggars and choosers here. It has been fun. It finally has mostly stopped raining, but a good amount of water came down. I'm usually good at finding campsites. I probably found a half dozen and they were all underwater, too muddy, etc. I even went all the way around the last reservoir, so this is gonna have to be it. I don't even know how many miles I did today, but I am ready to get warm and dry-ish. Home sweet home. Sadly, the world's worst, blandest instant mashed potatoes were not sufficiently improved by the chunks of elk sausage and crushed Pringles.